Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is probably the vlog you've all been waiting for. It's moving costs, and honestly, this is me personally. When I was looking at videos to see how much it costs to move across the country, I felt like I just saw people move across the country as opposed to giving me the information that I needed of cost, what options did they have, what route did they choose, and so forth. So I'm going to create that video for you guys because the whole moving across the country is very expensive, and if you do not take the time to do your research, because I don't know, maybe you're busy at work or you're busy packing or doing other things, you're gonna pay a pretty penny when you have options. So I'm gonna be that girl that gives you options. To start off, you can definitely move by yourself using U-Haul and driving across the country. That's a very cheap alternative way. You can also hook up your vehicle on the U-Haul as opposed to sending your car using an auto transportation service to take your vehicle across the country. But also keep in mind, when using a U-Haul and you're driving across the country, you're looking at a gas bill of approximately $800, around there. And whether it's the West Coast or the East Coast, like gas right now especially is quite expensive, but more so in the West Coast. Like we were paying like $5 to $6 a gallon in California, so just keep that in mind. But that's option number one. You also do have the option to use a moving pod, which is the route that we use. There's different companies. You have Pods, you have U-Pack, you also have 1-800-PACK-RAT. Also do have U-Haul has actually a storage box unit that they could send. I actually have a clip, so I'll probably insert that here so you guys can see. However, I didn't think it was good for moving like furniture and just like bigger, heavier items, because just the container itself was just wood blocks and like a very plastic material. So I wouldn't say that it was guaranteeing protection on your items. You can also use a moving truck company. Like I know I called Two Movers and a Truck. I remember I called them. I've also called like different moving companies, which, let me get my laptop, hold on. I have my laptop because I totally forgot to write this down. There were a couple companies that I did call to get a quote. Obviously I didn't use them, but I did call Two Men in a Truck is the one I actually meant to say. And then also United Van Lines was another one that I did contact. Colonial Van Lines was also another option that I did call. Allied Van Lines was the last one that I called. Obviously I didn't use them. They were a bit out of my budget, but I'll explain more so how much they were charging. You can also ship your items. We're debating on shipping like our televisions because we were planning on selling our furniture. However, we didn't do that. Yeah, those are pretty much the options that I think you have when you're moving across the country or just moving in general. However, both me and my boyfriend, we had like a budget, like our max was $3,000 to move across the country. It was a bit hard, I would say. We were thinking of doing U-Haul, but then we were also thinking gas is very expensive, and then they quoted me $5,000 just to rent the truck to take it across the country, and that's not even adding gas. So we're looking at $6,000. That was U-Haul. Then for Pods, wanted to charge us around $7,000 to ship everything across the country. And I was like, hey, like, you know, I only have these amount of items. Like, is there any other solution or whatever? They gave me their about 500 square footage, and I was $5,000 for that. So I was like, maybe not. The price did go down, but that was still out of our budget. Then I did contact 1-800-PACK-RAT. Same thing. They wanted to charge us actually more than Pods, and they only had like their 8 by 12 foot, and that was about $6,000. Then the next one was the American van lines and Colonial van lines. It was around $4,000, $5,000. But Ali was very shocking. It was like $15,000. I was so confused. Now, I'll let you know which route I took. So we actually decided to go with U-Pack, and U-Pack actually works with a third party, and that is ABF Freight. And so ABF Freight is actually the trucking company that drives the pods or the containers across the country, and then U-Pack gives them the actual pod containers. So we decided to go with them, and we paid for a reload cube, which was perfect for us. I'll add in a clip about how all our furniture and stuff fit in there. As for the reload cube itself, we paid $2,237. And reason why we paid that, because there is a difference. Even for the same exact reload cube, we decided to go on a much more cheaper alternative, and the difference is about $1,000 difference, honestly, which is insane. You have the option to have ABF Freight drop off the cube to your location, and then you pack your items, and then they come by and pick it up, and then they take it to their warehouse, and then they take it across the country. And then once they are at your other location, you should have already given them the final address, then they'll go ahead and drop it off at that location. However, even though that was probably the best and most convenient route to do, we didn't have an address of where we were moving to. And so we were sending these things ahead of time, and it was over $1,000 that we saved. So we kind of just decided not to do that route. Instead, you're probably wondering, how the hell did I pack up the items? So instead, what we did, we rented out a U-Haul in both locations, in California and in South Carolina. In California, we paid $81.65 for the U-Haul, and then in South Carolina, we paid I can't even speak. We paid $53.70. That was a total of $135.35. Other than that, a car. So we only had one car to ship across the country, and we decided to use Montway Adult Transportation. I had used them previously to send my car from Miami to California. Had a great experience. They were fast, efficient, and they were available to answer any questions, and the driver was very professional. So we decided to do that again. So we shipped the car from Oakland to South Carolina for $1,399, and it took approximately about a week, I would say, and we had no issues. You do pay the company Montway Auto Transport, I would say like at least $300 or $200, I can't remember right now, and then the rest you pay it to the driver. It charges you, I believe, an extra $50 if you do a one-time payment, or you can just wait until you get your car on the other end and pay the driver in cash or with a check. On top of that, for boxes for moving, luckily we didn't have a lot of stuff, but 2 boxes that I needed were definitely for the TVs. So each box was about $33, I believe, or $34. But with those 2 boxes, and I believe I got about 3 small boxes and 3, if not 4, medium boxes, was a total of $92. Like I said, it was mainly the big boxes that cost the most money. And then our flight was $399.38 for both me and my boyfriend. That was our grand total, to go a round trip. To go a one way. And this is just like, if you need it, maybe you don't. You maybe have friends wherever you're moving to, or family where you can stay at, but we know nobody here. So we had to rent a vehicle to look for a new home while we were here. just to get around, because everything is a bit far and the public transportation here is very different as opposed to the Bay Area. So the car rental was $427.23 for 3 days, and then an Airbnb for 3 days as well was $309.62, coming with a grand total of $4,999.58. And now if I were to take away a car rental or Airbnb, because like I said, if you guys have friends or family wherever you guys are moving to, then it'll just be $4,262.73 without car rentals and Airbnb. Those were all of our costs. I'll go ahead and leave the U-Pack information and auto transportation in the description below if you guys are looking to use them as well. And like I said, if you want to save money on your U-Pack cube, you have the option of dropping the price on your U-Pack by going to the warehouse location and filling up the pod there, as opposed to them dropping off the pod to your home. So just keep that in mind. And then I'll give you guys some links if you are probably interested of any other moving company that I mentioned. They were right around your price range. I'll leave it down there as well. So that is it for this video. Hopefully this information is able to help you move across the country and give you a much more clear mind, I would say, and relief that there are options around your budget if you were like us, that we were on a budget for sure. And if you have any questions, leave it down in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. And if you want to see more videos on how the new apartment looks and just life here in Charleston, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. And until next time, bye.